If you are a career-minded network marketing professional, I believe what I'm getting ready to share with you can mean more to you in your future in this profession than any other time you can spend over the next few minutes here. So please pay close attention, listen up, because this is going to be critical. And those of you that don't really hear what I'm getting ready to say, I promise you, you're going to wish you had in the near future. Who remembers when MLM was changing the world? Who remembers? Some of you I know are old enough to remember that time when Success Magazine comes out with "We Create Millionaires" on the cover, and that's when Success Magazine was really Success Magazine back in 1995. They talked about how network marketing's elite are building fortunes at breakneck speed. Those of us who'd been involved in network marketing for a few years, when this article came out, we were on top of the world. Everybody was fired up, excited. There was so much momentum going on at so many companies, and it was a great time and place. And I know some of you didn't have the opportunity to live through that, but some of you did. And I just want you to know, it was phenomenal. All the stories you've heard are true. And the question really is what happened? What happened? What happened to all that momentum? And I'm going to share with you in this presentation exactly what happened. And I'm also going to share with you the only way to regain that momentum as an industry. Now, the first thing you should be asking yourself is, who is this person? Why am I listening to him? My name is Dale Calvert. I got involved with the Shackley Corporation. I was a 20-year-old snot-nosed kid. Had a desire to change, to break out of my corporate routine, to be free and to do something. I didn't have any money to start a business. I got involved with the Shackley Corporation. The guy that sponsored me really didn't even want to fool with me, honestly. My sponsor uh, had so much confidence in me that he quit 2 weeks after I joined. But the guy that actually sponsored me, the upline, I was sponsored by my friend, but my upline is the guy that I had to deal with. And, I can remember him saying, "Look, it costs $300 to get started here, and you don't look like you have $300." And I said, "I don't, but I can get it. I don't, but I can get it." And that's how I started. I was living in a little 600 square foot home, driving this beat up Chevy Chevette. I actually have the picture in my office today, and then this is for those of you watching on YouTube, this is a replica, a model of my house that one of our arts and crafts gentlemen built for me years ago. And the main thing that I want to share with you here is this brass plaque right here. But the brass plaque says never forget. And that's the promise that I made to myself, is I'm never going to forget how I started, where my mindset was, where my fears were when I started down this path. And I'm going to do everything I can to help as many people as I can that want to make something special happen with this business model. I'm going to do everything I can to support them. And that's kind of been my focus. We had an unbelievable ride. I got started when I was 20, and I had a lot of ups and downs and ups and sideways. But eventually, my last 5 years in this profession, when I was building before I retired at age 39, I made $10 million. You can see here we were on the cover of Success Makers magazine. Uh, that's my Dodge Viper. That's my second Dodge Viper. That's our corporate airplane, which we flew to all the events, 2 corporate limos. I mean, everything that you hear about in this profession, I've experienced. This is our 17,000 square foot home. It was built on 100 acres in central Kentucky, and that's where my 3 daughters grew up. And I just want to show you this to let you know I know what I'm talking about. We were featured in basically every home business publication at the time. Here's a couple that people framed for me, which I appreciated. But we were in all of them. Every publication you can name, they called and wanted to do an interview, and I obliged. This is probably the one that I'm the most proud of, and I'm going to get to this in a minute. But it's called Inspire Greatness or Cater to Mediocrity, and it was a special article published by the Direct Sales Journal, which at the time it only went out to uh, corporate managers and owners of direct sales and network marketing companies. Here's where in 2000 we were heading up. Our company was rated one of the top 10 network marketing companies in the United States. And that was along with companies that you've all heard of, like USANA, Melaleuca, and I cannot remember who the others were, but some really good, strong, credible companies were in that group. And we were also recognized as being in the top 10. So when I retired from building teams, an entirely new business model opened up to me that I had never expected, never wanted, never dreamed about, had no desire. When I retired from building teams, I wanted to be done. There was other business models I wanted to pursue, things I wanted to do, and I just wanted to get honestly as far away from the network marketing business model as I possibly can because I had had all I could take. And I love it, but I despise it. And but what happened is my phone started ringing as soon as I was no longer associated with the company, and people say, "Dale, will you come and teach your Programming Your Mind for Success system to our team at a Super Saturday?" And then companies started calling, and I was a corporate trainer for multiple companies. I've spoke at multiple keynotes for multiple companies in 9 countries all over the world. I mean, it created a whole business that just absolutely had been unexpected, that I never had anticipated. Now, still during this time, I've been involved in multiple other businesses, traditional and online, offline, a lot of different businesses, but I've been able to speak and been guest speaker in 9 different countries around the world at these network marketing events. And again, it was something that I never had anticipated. uh, a couple years after, I'd say, "Well, Dale, why would you retire? Why would you quit building teams?" Because I saw the writing on the wall. In 1999, here's a copy of it. You can look. I did an audio called "Network Marketing is a Scam." And my point in that audio was, guys, the way we're trying to promote this, when outsiders, career frustrated people, and that's our market. Our market is the career frustrated people. It's not each other, it's the career frustrated people. And when they see what we're doing and how we're doing it, they aren't going to want to touch this the way we're trying to promote it. I mean, we've gone downhill, and we've gone downhill quick. And that was in 1999, and I did this audio and I got it out there. And when I realized the writing was on the wall in 2000, after being named one of the top 10 companies in network marketing, I retired from building teams. I'm done. And since that time, I released this audio just for the history purposes. Anybody that wants to listen to it, and I've added a lot of several other hours of training. It's at MLM Scam and then the numeral2.com if you want to go check it out. Here's my point. Today, 2023, make no mistake about it. Traditional consumable product, MLM, it's over. Never to return. It's gone, guys. We killed it. But there is a new era of team building opportunities that are here, but most don't even understand or realize that they've arrived yet because they're caught in the traditional MLM. They're caught on the traditional MLM hamster wheel. So what I'm going to share with you over the next few minutes, this is not a training. This is not a pitch. This is a training. It's a training. And I have one go. And that one go is to help people hopefully have a paradigm shift. Here's what I know. Here's what I know, and I'll take this to my grave. Done right. That's 2 key words. Done right. Network marketing, team building is the most life-altering business model in the world. And I despise it. as much as I love it. I despise what it's become. I despise what it's become. But I love the impact that it had for me and many other people. It's a beautiful business model when done correctly and people are told the truth. The second thing I know, those who joined since 2000, since the year 2000, have not had a chance, not had a chance to experience what this business model can really offer because they've been raised in what I call the wrong cultures. They've been raised wrong. And it's hard, guys. You know, it's like, it's almost like trying to change your religion. If you're raised in one particular religion for years and years, and then even if there's an awakening of some type and you realize, hey, you know, maybe I was raised in the wrong religion, making the shift, making the change is something that most people cannot do. And most network marketers, all network marketers, all since 2000 have been raised in the wrong culture. Those that were here during the momentum years, you remember Success Magazine. You are needed now more than ever to lead this new era that is here. And I know I talked to a lot of Dale, I'm done, I'm burnt out, I'll never do it again. I don't understand this new era stuff. I don't understand blockchain. I don't understand this. I'm not good on the computer, that. No, but you're good with people and your value focus and you sincerely want to help people. And if you can bring that to this market, then I or other people can help you where you need support, and it's okay to ask for it. We're here to help you and support you however we can. But we need your people skills. We need you caring about people. We need you speaking the truth in people's lives. We need you more than ever, honestly. So the burning question today, the real burning question is, did the power of the business model change? Did the power of network marketing change? You know, what J. Paul Getty said, I would rather earn 1% on 100 people's efforts than 100% on my own efforts. The richest man in the world at the time he made that statement. Has that philosophy changed at all? Has the philosophy changed? Is all of a sudden in 2023, the fact that you would rather earn 1% on 100 people's efforts than 100% on your own efforts, has that changed? Or is that just common sense, wisdom of the ages? Isn't it? I mean, the business model itself has not changed. So what has changed? Why are people so burnt out? Why are people so aggravated and frustrated? I'm going to share with you exactly why. So did the business model change or did field leadership change? That's really the question. And some of us have been around long enough to know the answer. When a movement gets away from the core fundamentals, and it doesn't matter what kind of movement we're talking about, but when a movement gets away from the core fundamentals, the fundamentals that created the momentum of the movement, there is always unintended consequences. And a lot of people can say, well, Dale, you're throwing people under the bus. You're talking bad about people. No, I believe in most cases, it's unintended consequences. I believe a lot of people were sincerely trying to share ideas, not proven systems, but their thoughts and their ideas and about how to move forward in the new millennium. And we're trying to teach people, honestly, I really do. But I think a lot of people just, they were teaching their personal ideas and there was no track record to back it up. There's no track record to back it up. So please take this in the spirit in which it's intended. I did a webinar about this probably 7-8 years ago. It's at mlmhelp.com/critical. I know those of you that are regular listener to our podcast, you've probably seen this because I talk about it a lot. But there's 4 stages of any movement: an awakening, and in the 50s was the awakening as far as network marketing is concerned. People were realizing, hey, I need to do something to make more money. I'm stuck in this corporate environment. I'm stuck in this factory. I want to do better. I want to make more money. What can I do? And there was no, it wasn't it didn't have the popularity it had today. I mean, everybody went to work, came home, ate dinner, watched Jackie Gleason and whoever on a black and white TV set, went to bed and got up and did it all over again the next day. And that was supposedly the American dream. And there's companies in the 50s and 60s, some network marketing companies started waking people up. People like Ling Turner and Dare to Be Great, and of course Amway and Shackley was started in the 60s and so on. And once the awakening happens, then there's growth. There's growth in organizations, and growth leads to momentum. And then once you have momentum, there's always people that are trying to do it quicker, faster, easier. And they move into a speculation mode. And that's exactly what happened to network marketing full bore in the late 90s. And it's the primary reason I left the profession, because the speculation was outrageous. It was ridiculous. It was not based upon any solid success principles. It was just based upon telling people what they want to hear so they'll hang around on Autoship a few more months. It's my belief that the team building business model has more upside potential today than ever. Now, note, I did not say the network marketing business model. I said the team building business model. And I did, and there's a complete distinction in my mind between these two. Okay, network marketing, as we've known, it's gone. Traditional network marketing is over. The challenge is that traditional network marketing has been diluted to the point, even when it comes to recruiting and building teams, it's been diluted to the point that it's not even close to what it once was. It's not even in the same stadium. But it's not the business model that's in fault here. It's how it's been taught the last 20 years. I'm going to say that again. It's not the network marketing business model that's at fault. It's the way it's been taught the last 20 years. The predatory approaches that many people with leadership titles have taken. If you'll just do $200 more a month, if everybody will just do $200 more a month, I'll get my bonus car, and all that kind of crap that's been going on throughout this profession. Network marketing created millionaires in the past, many, and it will in the future. Maybe not network marketing, but team building, new era team building will create millionaires in the future. Here's the reality. Here's the truth. And it's going to be hard for most of you to hear. Attraction marketing, those that promoted it, killed the goose that was laying the MLM golden eggs. That's just the truth of it. And you can go back and you can look at every trend, all the foo-foo dust that's been spread throughout this profession for years and years. Well, everybody has to, it started with lead programs. Everybody's we're not going to teach you how to go out and create your own leads. We're going to sell you leads. We're going to sell you leads. And remember, many of you were around when the first lead programs came out. And I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying there's a time and place for them. Lead System Pro and all this other stuff. A lot of you remember. And everybody was focusing on building teams of affiliates instead of building their primary company. And we've seen it with multiple different companies. No, you need this blogging platform and you have to write an article every day. And if you'll write an article every day, then success is guaranteed. And it goes on and on. No, you need to do YouTube videos. Do YouTube videos and people will be attracted to you and they will join your team. Now it's, don't do YouTube videos, do Facebook videos. No, not Facebook. Let's do Instagram videos. Instagram videos is a secret. No, it's not Instagram anymore. That's outdated. That's old school. It's all about TikTok or whatever. Jumping from fluff idea to fluff idea to fluff idea, selling courses to people that are looking for the foo-foo dust. It will never be what it once was, but I believe new era team building will be better, much better. But I also know that sadly, most network marketers will miss it. Give me people that are career frustrated with an above average desire to make it, that can't spell MLM, who've never been involved in MLM. Give me a handful of people that are teachable and have a desire to make it, to break out of their corporate environment or whatever jail they feel like they're in. You give me a handful of people that have zero network marketing indoctrination into their brain and watch what happens. Watch what happens. Because I understand what it takes to build teams. And it's not the foo-foo dust that's been spread throughout this industry the last 20 years. I talked about this in session 300 of our podcast. And if you haven't heard that, if I strike a nerve, it's worth hearing. And the title of that podcast was All Consumable Product. All, not a few, not all of them, but yours. All consumable product MLM opportunities are dead gone over. A new era of wealth creation and team building is here. And 99% of the quote unquote leaders don't even know it exists yet. And I know some of you think, well, what about Live Good, Dale? Live Good's doing awesome. Live Good's grown from 0 to 40,000 distributors. They're killing it. I've done a whole training just on Live Good. It will never be public until Live Good's out of business or Ben Glinsky sells the company. Okay? I've done a whole training on it because every day myself and obviously everybody on our team, I got 6 promotions for it last week. And I got so tired of having the same conversation over and over. So I did a private video. Nobody will ever see it. It'll never be public because I have a lot of respect for Ben Glinsky and Tim Miller's a friend of mine. I've got a lot of friends over there. They should know better. They should, but they don't. And Ben's a genius. Ben sat back for a few years, looked at the market, and came out exactly with what the MLM junkies were craving. Exactly. And, again, 40,000. And I'm excited for them. I'm excited because of the fact that they were able to get 40,000 people's attention. And again, 40,000, but I don't know how many of those are actually paid $9.97 or how many took the free tour. It doesn't really matter, but it is what it is. But say, Dale, well, you're wrong. They're a nutritional company. Listen, dudettes, listen to me. I'm going to share a couple things real quick and I'm going to get off of this. But if your customers are your team members, you're in the wrong business. Take it to the bank. If your customers are your team members, you're in the wrong business. If there's no retail market for your product or service, you're in the wrong business. Yeah, Dale, but you don't get it, man. I was buying greens and paying $45 for a jar, and now I only have to pay $9.12 or whatever it is. Okay, listen to this is the last thing I got to get off of this because I'll get off on it, and I don't want to. The only consumers of nutritional products that care about the price are network marketers. Let me say that again. The only consumers that care about the price of nutritional products are network marketers. This whole program has been designed exclusively for no outside people, exclusively for network marketers hitting every hot button that the network marketing junkies have going on right now. How many big leaders have joined this company? There's a reason, guys. There's a reason. But see, I mean, I take over 50 supplements a day. I take some weird brain powders that aren't really classified as supplements. I spend more on supplements than most people spend on their car payment every month. And my decision is based upon my research, not based upon the cost. I mean, my multivitamins cost me $180 a month, but they're based upon my personal DNA. Okay, so people that are into nutrition are looking for products that they believe in, and they're very loyal. They're very loyal to their brand. Okay, the only people that care about the price of nutritional products are network marketers who have garages full of stuff they've never used. I could go on and on. I'm not. Uh, Again, Ben Glinsky's a genius. He hit every hot button. And honestly, when I really stop and think about it, you're going to see competitors come. There's going to be people try to do exactly what they've done, but they won't be able to do it as good as they've done it. And who knows, this might be the new type of network marketing. This might be the new thing in traditional network marketing. Well, Dale, it's just like Sam's Club. Sweetheart, sweetheart. Sam's Club doesn't cost you $120 a year or whatever the $9.97 adds up to be. Okay, it's not $120 a year. And my Sam's Club membership was whatever it is. Go buy your vitamins at Sam's Club. You'll get high. Go there. Go buy them at Sam's Club. Again, I've just had so many wild conversations with people about this. But just let me say this. I would not be surprised if there's 8 or 10 companies just like this. Pay a membership, buy your whatever, buy your skincare, pay your membership, buy your essential oils, pay your skincare, pay your membership, buy your whatever in the consumable product niche, because the consumable product niche is done. It's over. And you've got all kinds of um, I don't know how to even describe these, but you got people like right now in Melaleuca that are doing this whole business model, and all they're doing is they're promoting it through social media people, not network marketers, not team builders. They're just trying to get product consumption by having social media people promote the program. They're not even telling people it's Melaleuca. I mean, so there's all these off the wall things that are going on. Companies, merging with other companies, and it just is what it is. And it's not going to recover. It will never be what it once was. And when you look at, the amount of people that you have to have in a company like this, just to make $1,000 a month, it will scare the heck out of most people once they actually get out their calculator and start punching a few numbers. I'm going to shut up on that. The truth is, there's a new era of wealth building that is here. Team building, wealth building. It is here. There's no question about it. And I talk a lot about it in this podcast, and you're going to hear a lot more about it. But I want you to consider this, and I want you to hear this and really hear it this time. Really hear what I'm getting ready to share with you. There's a couple, Gordy, Kelly Alderson. They've been around network marketing. They joined with me back in, they were part of our team, probably 50 levels under me somewhere, uh, with New Image International. And I met Gordy and Kelly at the time, and I liked them both. Solid people, solid people, trustworthy people, good people, value focused people. And I met them, and we kind of talked a little bit over the years, but pretty much lost contact. And I'm not going to get into the whole story, but because this is what you need to understand. They've been in and out different network marketing companies over the years. They were with me in one company, their first one. They've never made over $5,000 in any month in the last 25, 30 years. Are you with me? Good people, honest, trustworthy, knew of network marketing, been around it, been involved in a few programs, but never made over 5,000 a month. When iHub Global introduced the ERC recovery program, I knew that it was in Gordy's wheelhouse. I knew it was going to be great for them. And I had no doubt because I mean, I knew that, $10,000 a month plus was coming to them. I had no idea that they would become, today, I would classify them as living legends in this space. Their first 40 days with no team on their own, their first 40 days starting from scratch, had no background, knew nothing about this ERC recovery program at all, nothing. Their first 40 days, they wrote enough business to create $1 million in commissions for themselves. They were building a new house at the time. In 40 days, they're paying for that house in 40 days. When have you ever heard a story similar to that? For 25 years, I've been hearing, Dale, we need something that has NSA money, big money, NSA money. I told a guy a couple weeks ago, this is NSA money on steroids. You would not believe the stories of the people on our team and the money that's being made and the number of people on our team that will make six figures in 2023 that have never done anything even close to that with any side gig they've ever been involved in. Ladies and gentlemen, a new era is here. A new era is absolutely here. Let me tell you about Carlos. A couple years ago, Don and I, it was January, February. I couldn't take the cold anymore. And I just said, we got to get out of here. So we decided we're going to go to Florida for a couple of weeks. And so we just packed up and went to Florida. And I took the phone from our office just so I would have it, just in case something came up and I could check messages at least from our phone, from our office phone. And we were getting ready to go out one night, and I was ready, and I was just sitting there waiting on a woman, as that song says. I was waiting on dog, and that phone started ringing, and it's like, who's calling it? It was like 7:30 or something. I said, I'm not picking this up. And it just kept ringing. It kept ringing, and it kept ringing. And I thought, well, who is this? And I picked it and ran over and said, hey, Dale Calvert. And somebody said, Mr. Calvert, this is Carlos. You don't know me. I'm calling you from Colorado. And it was a young man. And he said, I just read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he talked about network marketing and how that's a great business model for people that have no business experience to get involved with. And I'm young, but I want to learn how to do network marketing and do it well. And I've done a lot of research online, and you're the guy that I would like to teach me. And I'm thinking, what? And we ended up spending about I don't know. Maybe I do remember I'm sitting there talking to this guy, enjoying our conversation, and Don's sitting at the door waiting. We're supposed to be going to dinner, and it's like no, I've got a very unique individual here because young kid, he kind of reminded me of myself, hungry. I could tell he was hungry. The fact that he had read Rich Dad Poor Dad was a clue, right? It was a clue. So long story short, he got started with us. We were helping APL Go launch in the United States at the time. Then when we had to make the shift to iHub Global, he came with us. And over the last couple years, he's kind of been in and out as far as being plugged in. I think he would tell you that. But overall, he's been in. He's just not been real visible. But uh, last this last summer, iHub was doing their kickoff in Las Vegas, and I get a call, and Carlos says, "Dale, guess what?" I said, "What?" He said, "I think I figured out a way with some points that my sister-in-law has where I can come to Vegas." And he said, "I'm kind of nervous because I've never been on an airplane before." And I said, "Well, if you can get there, we'll take care of you. If you can get to Vegas, we're going to have a lot of team members there, and I would love for you to come. That would be phenomenal." And he ends up. This is the first time I met him personally. This is outside the hotel when he arrived on the bus from the airport, the tram, the bus in Vegas, and that's us meeting for the very first time. And Carlos, I think, is 21 now, maybe 22. We met 2, 3 years ago, and he's just been a constant student, a constant student. He's expanded his comfort zone. He's read the right books. He's listened to the right audios. He's focused on working harder on himself than he has on his business. And I just think about what if he'd come into the Beach Babes and they told him you had to do social media and videos and or start a blog or all the other crap that's been spread throughout this industry the last 20 years, where would he be today? But because he was given wisdom of the ages truth and systems that can be learned and implemented, he's progressed slowly but surely. So yesterday, the time we're making this recording, literally yesterday, we did something that we have done over the years from time to time, and we do a blitz. And we started these way back, 30 years ago. This was the first blitz I'd ever done with the ERC program. And basically, we just have people going into the market, creating conversations. We meet in the morning. We talk about the game plan. We meet in the evening, talk about how many leads were created, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to go into it, but the goal was to just create leads. You know, uh, walk into a business, find out who the owner is, so you can follow up with them. Because there's a lot of owners out there, a lot of companies, businesses that are owed money from the government that they have no idea that they're even owed. And that was kind of that's what we're doing. If you don't know about ERC, I'm not going to take the time to educate on it now. But what we're doing, we did this yesterday, and we said, look, we're going to do a team cruise in January of next year, and whoever creates the most leads and then creates the most amount of business from those leads. You create the lead Saturday, you've got 1 month to enroll those people, and the person that enrolls the most customers uh, between now and 30 days from now, we're going to give a free cabin on the cruise, on our team cruise. And that was the contest associated with the blitz that happened yesterday. And so I get an email, or he posted in our Facebook group real early yesterday. He said, first call booked for Mexican restaurant, 4 W-2s. That's how many employees they have. That cabin is mine. Smiley face. And then later on in the afternoon, 3 more calls booked. A pizza place with 7 W-2s, a pressure washing company with 30 W-2s, and a Mexican restaurant with 2 W-2s. And he had a great day. He was number one for the day yesterday. We had a lot of people that did really well, but he was the most for the day as far as getting calls scheduled with ERC experts. And in that day yesterday, if you look at the potential commissions here based upon his numbers yesterday, this young man made $14,960 yesterday. Yesterday. That's what we call a new era opportunity. Doesn't exist. It blows people's minds. How could this happen? I mean, Gordy and Kelly will make several $1,000,000 that I told you about. They'll make several $1,000,000 when this is all said and done. The amount of incomes that our team will make this year, 5 of the top 10 people in this company on our personal team. Lives are being changed right now, April 2023, as we speak, because we're with a new era opportunity and we're focused on the right things, not doing stupid TikTok dances. Back in 1999, this is the article I showed you a few minutes ago that I'm very proud of. And this is when I was seeing the shift happen, guys. We were getting away from the core fundamentals. We were, as an industry, start looking for the foo-foo dust. And I wrote this article, and you can see right here, it says, I believe that this industry has to return to our roots of personal development, personal growth. We must create a culture that inspires our people to learn, grow, develop, and become all they can become. And that was published again in the Direct Sellers News. It's for company owners and corporate officers and network marketing companies and direct sales companies. But this is what we were getting away from as an industry. And it happened right then, 1999. So if we just stop and we look at the network marketing business model and how it started and really understand, guys, what created all that momentum. Well, when it started, it came out of the personal development niche. The personal development niche. That you are where you are in your life because of what's gone into your mind. And the only way to change where you are is to change your mind, change your brain cell patterns. Neuroplasticity is now a science that has been proved. But Glenn Turner was talking about that years and years ago. You know, there's more people that became millionaires coming out of Glenn Turner training. It was all personal development, dare to be great. More millionaires were created in America through his training and programs than anybody I've ever known or ever even read about or heard about. And thankfully, Glenn and I became friends later in life before he passed away. He was an amazing human being, touched a lot of lives. You know, some of you remember Charles Given's, the best-selling book, Wealth Without Risk. And I can start naming the people that many of you've heard. Ted Turner, the Turner Network, who started with Glenn Turner and Dare to Be Great. And the personal development aspect of life. And then, of course, the one and only Jim Rohn. And here's what people don't understand. And here's where the disconnect is today. There would be no Jim Rohn if not for Earl Shoaff. There would be no Jim Rohn if not for Earl Shoaff. Earl Shoaff took wisdom of the ages, principles, concepts, ideas, and passed them along to many, Jim Rohn being one of them. Jim Rohn being one of them. When he recruited Jim Rohn into his network marketing company. And many of you probably heard this story working at Sears, so I'm not going to repeat it. But this is real important. If not, there would be no Jim Rohn if not for Earl Shoaff. And we can talk about Les Brown. You know, was actually in special ed classes during high school. People they thought he was not intelligent. But he got sponsored into Amway and never built an Amway team, but the personal development through Amway put his life on a path that we're all thankful that his life got on that path, a great Les Brown. And again, Mary Kay Ash again started as a network marketing distributor with a couple of different cosmetic companies, and then decided she was going to start her own. How? Why was she capable? Why was she able to do that? Because she had internalized wisdom of the ages principles during her time as a distributor with Mary Kay, and she was capable of going out and making that happen. And again, what about the great Art Williams? Turned the insurance industry upside down, turned it upside down, took on New York Life and all the big insurance companies. Buy term and invest the rest, built an unbelievable business. A blue collar football coach from South Georgia. Come on, why? Because of the mindset, and because of the mindset that he taught his team members. I could go on and on and on. What the network marketing profession lacks today, without question, is wisdom of the ages success principles. We forgot the fact that network marketing is a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. This world needs unstoppable entrepreneurs. Look around this industry. Look around network marketing. Where's the next wave coming from? Where are they? Well, Dale, I don't see any. That's because they ain't there. Who's been leading the charge the last 20 years in this profession? Self-proclaimed gurus. Because it's much easier to tell people what they want to hear so you can sell them what you want to sell them than it is to tell them the truth. This whole attraction marketing concept is flawed. And because network marketing is not about customer acquisition, it's not about hoping people know you, like you, and trust you, therefore they will buy from you. That's great if you have a traditional business, if you run a dress boutique, if you run a pool supply store, or any other traditional business that depends upon customer acquisition. Attraction marketing is a phenomenal technique. But network marketing is not about attracting customers. If you want to achieve your full upside potential, you must learn how to develop leaders. Leaders create product volume in network marketing. Leaders create product volume. Network marketing is not about creating a social club environment where people hang out on your webinars because they know you, like you, and trust you, and you entertain them every week. If you want to fulfill your true upside potential, it's about creating finance. It's about developing leaders and creating financial independence. That's where we've missed it. How did this all happen? How did we get to this point? And when you do the research, you can go back and pretty much it's Mike Dillard's fault. Now, I've never met Mike Dillard. I like Mike Dillard. I've heard his podcast when he did them. I think he's a value-focused person. I really like him a lot as a human being. I've never met him, never shook his hand. I would love to. But let's really look at where all this flawed philosophy came from. And again, Mike Dillard was involved in multiple different network marketing companies and faced all the frustrations and the aggravations that we all face. I would give anything if he'd been on our team. It could have changed the history of network marketing because he wouldn't have had to go the route he went. And I don't blame him for this. But when Google Ads first came out, he was running some Google Ads and he was attracting people that said they wanted to, make money from home and build a business or whatever. And it was great. And he attracted a lot of prospects. But again, it's not about getting them in. Let me say that again. Network marketing has very little to do with sponsoring and enrolling and getting them in. Most people cannot see past that. That's all they see. It's that they're consumed with getting them in. That's not what this is about. It's not about getting them in. Yes, that's the first step, but you have to get them in, keep them in, and help them progress and move forward. So everything you do, if it's all geared about getting them in and not focused on what are the systems in place to help them progress and move forward, ultimately they leave. But anyway, so who is Mike Dillard? When he wrote this book, was he a millionaire, a network marketing team building millionaire with a track record that could be documented? No. He was a frustrated, aggravated, broke P.F. Chang waiter. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a frustrated, aggravated P.F. Chang waiter, but I am saying that the industry was so gullible that they never asked, who is this person and why should I be listening to him? That question was obviously never asked because he's a great communicator. He's value focused. Again, seems like a great guy to me, very sincere. But as Jim Rohn taught me, never mistake sincerity with truth because some people are sincerely wrong. And I don't think he would even say that he was sincerely wrong. I think, but that is what started it. Okay, that's what started this that instead of teaching proven, documented mindset and skill set training, he was never exposed to that. I am sure he has been since then, but he was not during that time. And if people are not progressing, they get real frustrated. So that's where it all started. Then you got this bozo, beach ball head. I'm just going to say it. I've never understood this. I knew him in NSA because we were in NSA together. He's great at selling and producing videos, but he wasn't a team builder. He wasn't a team builder. He knew how to smooze with team builders for sure. And I'll just say it. If it wasn't for Gary Vee, when he went to Gary Vee and said, look, I want to be the next Jim Rohn. And if it wasn't for Gary Vee and Jeff Olson, nobody on the planet would know who this guy is. That's just the truth. And I could go on and on. I throw up in my mouth every time I see these five. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Middle-aged women trying to act like they're teenagers so they can attract people to their team. And they're one of, look, this is the profession today. Come join my social club. We'll hang out. We'll have fun. And you can stay on auto ship and I'll make money. It's ridiculous. There's no question that this guy and all the people, all the cronies, in my opinion, has done more to hurt this profession than any other person. And I could go on and on, but this, a broke real estate person that's going to start doing a video every day to teach people how to do network marketing, even though he never built a significant team of any size or ever helped anybody create a significant income. But he was able to go online, do a video every day, create a lot of followers. Why? Because none of them ask, who is this guy and why should I be listening to him? And the rest is history. And honestly, I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt over and over and over. But when I was sent a copy of a live webinar where he says on the webinar, I'm going to teach you how to be a well-paid network marketing consultant, even if you've never enrolled your first distributor or acquired your first customer. And that actually came out of his mouth. And he was serious. And all you have to do is buy my course and enroll in my coaching program. And I'm going to show you how you can become a well-paid network marketing consultant. And the number of people that have bought that crap over the years and all the other crap that's been propagated through all these people, blogging, you got to have a blog, buy my blog, affiliate program, blah, blah, blah. It's just ruined the profession. It just has. This is an article I did a few years ago, probably 8 years ago. We just did some research, and at the time of that article, there was 42,000 self-proclaimed network marketing gurus, ninjas, masters, rock stars, consultants, and trainers on YouTube. Now, granted, most of those accounts are dormant. Uh, People were told, go on YouTube. This is what I did. Go on YouTube, do a video every day. If you don't know what to talk about the training of mind that you heard on my webinar, or talk about a chapter in my book, or whatever. And people did that, quality, good people that should have known better just from a common sense standpoint. And in about 6 months after drinking the Kool-Aid, they wake up and think, oh my gosh, I've been doing this 6 months. I don't have anybody. All my friends and relatives and everybody around me thinks I'm an idiot, because I've been talking about this stuff and I've never done anything, but I'm calling myself your number one consultant in Arizona or whatever. I'm your number one MLM consultant in Arizona or whatever it is. And it's like they wake up and they quit the industry never to return again. And that's what bothers me. That's what bothers me. 27%ers, good people that could have really done something significant if they weren't brought into this culture that makes absolutely zero sense. Attraction marketing may work for about 3% of the population, if that, and that's if you enter the industry with an abnormal amount of personality, looks, or some other something that attracts people to watch your videos instead of watching their normal cat videos that they watch every day on YouTube. See, my point has always been with these people, and I've had many conversations, is who are you attracting? What kind of people are you attracting? Really, you're attracting people that want to whine, complain, gripe, and you're not attracting. Would you hire them if you had a business and you were paying them a salary? Heck no, you wouldn't want them. That's all. You're not going to attract a career frustrated, business minded people dancing on TikTok or getting on any social media platform and calling yourself something you're not, trying to be something you're not. Yet I understand that's what you were told to do. I get it. Again, I get it. I understand. But again, I despise what this profession has become. I'm going to share with you 5 things real quick and we're going to wrap it up. The focus has to be on personal development and building people and holding people accountable. We do a thing we call weekly progress report. It really helps people monitor their numbers and their activity. We've done it for years. And it's real important. It's a real important part of the whole overall systems that we teach. Most network marketers are willing to say anything, do anything, just to keep people on auto ship one more month. They'll call them a rock star, and they know they have never done anything. They haven't even sponsored their mama. Their brother won't even buy products from them, yet they come on their webinar every week. Here's my rock star Sally, blah, blah, blah. Sally knows it's not true, and everybody that knows Sally knows it's not true. And we just buy into all this rah-rah crap. The reality is if you build people, people will build the business. Network marketing at its core is a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. When a movement gets away from the core fundamentals, there's always unintended consequences, as I've already talked about. And again, you see it everywhere you look. What did Zig tell us? You can have everything in life you want if you do what? Help enough other people get what they want. How do you do that? First of all, you got to figure out what they want. And Brian Tracy, the best leaders don't create followers. They create other leaders. It's been right in front of us the whole time. We just ignored it and drank the Kool-Aid because we drank the Kool-Aid. I'm going to go back a little bit of history here. It's worth really thinking about. This is Lynn Clements. Some of you may or may not know him. I don't even know if he's still actively a writer for Network Marketing. I really don't know what happened to Lynn. I haven't heard of anything out of him in years. But he wrote a book at the time, was a great seller, called Inside Network Marketing. He also did a paid newsletter that I was a subscriber of, and many other people were. Uh, but here's a quote from one of his newsletters, actually an article he wrote called "The Land of 10,000 Unrecruited Heavy Hitters." He said, "Today there's a constant ebb and flow of distributors from company to company." See if this sounds familiar. There's a constant ebb and flow of distributors from company to company, those who migrate like gypsies from program to program, always looking for a better deal. And this segment of the MLM population is huge. Today, everybody seems to be into retreading existing distributors over and over, dreaming about landing the big heavy hitter. The industry has become sluggish, lazy, and one filled with a lot of spoiled opportunists looking for something as close to nothing as possible. And the opportunities available to them exploit this fact with no remorse. Does that sound familiar? You know, oh, you got to pay $200. You have a $200 qualification. We only have a $100 qualification. Then somebody goes, we only got 80. We only have 40. And then finally, when you get to the point, well, all you got to do with us is pay $9.97 a year for your membership. You don't even have to order any product. Your matrix or your unilevel will be filled for you and your matrix. You don't have to order anything. Just pay your membership. It's ridiculous, guys. So in his Behind MLM newsletter, that he wrote this article. And again, this is excerpts. You can see the whole article if you want. I have it posted at MLM Help. It's a mind tweak because it's just so predictable why we are where we are. In the land of 10,000 unrecruited heavy hitters, think about this. Heavy hitters, the term heavy hitters, was not even a term during the early momentum stages of MLM. I want you to really hear this. If I say an MLM heavy hitter, everybody knows what I'm talking about. But during the early momentum stages of MLM, if you said MLM heavy hitter, it's like, what are you talking about? Because everybody's looking for the heavy hitter, right? That's what everybody's doing today, but not when it started, because it started out of the personal development movement. See, when the momentum was created, this was before the internet. All organizations were working in closed cultures. Okay? We didn't have access to all this foo-foo dust being spread all over the place by all these self-proclaimed gurus promising you a way to do it quicker, faster, and easier. That was not available. It's not available when I came in, and thankfully it wasn't, because if it had been, I probably never would have made it. So every organization was responsible for training and developing their own heavy hitters on their teams based upon their training systems. I want to make sure you hear what I'm saying, because some of you really need to get this. You couldn't go out and pray and hope to find a heavy hitter to join your team, because there was no such thing in the beginning. In the beginning, the focus was on building people, helping people develop their own success mindsets, their own leadership potential, because everybody was operating in closed cultures. And that's when in 1995, when Success Magazine came out with, We Create Millionaires, and talking about how people are creating millionaire income at record speed. Why? Because all these different companies that were in momentum, and there was a bunch of them, were all operating with closed cultures. The only training you got was from your team at live events or conference calls. That's how you got trained, through audio cassettes, through video cassette trainings. We trained our entire team. Every system was in a course format. And you learn it, you master it, then you learn the next skill that you need. Step by step, sequentially. You can't teach algebra to somebody that hasn't learned basic addition yet. And once the internet hit, then you could take people that have never mastered any of the fundamentals of network marketing, and they can go in and they can think, my gosh, I'm just gonna spend all this money on Facebook ad campaigns, and I'm going to attract all kinds of people to my team. And they don't even know they don't understand anything about the fundamentals of of building a team, but somebody sold them that, hey, Facebook ad campaigns is the answer if you want to get rich in today's in the real in new world network marketing. Forget all that old school crap, guys. It's as clear as it can be. What about the? I mean, what about this is not making sense? And once the closed cultures were dissolved and people had access to people, I'm going to teach you how to build your team with genealogy lists from other companies or whatever. We got further and further and further away from the core fundamentals that created the momentum in this profession to start with. That's what's happened. How are teams built today? Let's just be real. This is exactly what happens. Somebody decides they're going to start a company. They go find a Me Too product, and then they find a master distributor. Who's their master distributor? Somebody that needs their ego stroked, that has a large following. Because they know if they can bring in this person, they'll bring in all their followers, and everybody will start consuming my products instead of the other nutritional products they were consuming. So the master distributor goes out and they have 10, 12, 15, however many key people. They bring in their key people. Their key people have a few key people, not as many, but a few key people that they bring in. Those people bring in a few people that they know that were part of their team at some point. And those people bring in one or two people that maybe might have an interest or they've worked with in the past. And then the last people that come in don't know anybody that's been in network marketing. And since all we've been doing for the last 20 years is recruiting each other from deal to deal, when it gets down here, and it can take a while, but however long it takes for the master distributor to roll it out, to launch it, till it gets down here where all these people are coming in that don't have anybody to go talk to, then it starts folding up as fast as it blew up. It starts folding up as fast as it blew up. And after it starts folding up, then somebody in here that has been around for a while, somebody else is starting a new company, and they go in here and say, come on, be my master distributor. And the whole thing starts all over again, over and over and over. That's what's been happening for 20 years on this MLM hamster wheel. That's what's been happening because there's no new leadership being developed. It's nothing more than just laundering money among friends. That's all that's been going on here. There's no retail going on. It just is what it is. And that's the truth of it. Number two, the millionaire dream died in network marketing years ago. It did. I mean, I was talking to somebody a couple of weeks ago, and they said, I've been involved in network marketing for 3 years and I'm finally successful. And I said, congratulations, what's going on? She said, last month was the first month that I got my product free. I said, what? You've been there 3 years. Last month was the first month you got your product free. So now you're having success. And I didn't say this, but I thought it. And so that's your definition of success. Dumbed down doesn't seem to even get close to describing what's going on. The opportunity must. The opportunity must give a newbie the opportunity. Newbie, I'm talking about somebody who's never done network marketing, like Carlos. The newbie the opportunity to replace their current income and over time develop financial independence. And if they persist and don't, go on the golf course and play all day, and they do persist, even become a millionaire. That's what must be provided in network marketing. Nobody even talks about this kind of stuff anymore. Again, the whole concept philosophy of we create millionaires is over. And you see a lot of really talented people just jumping from deal to deal. They aren't even thinking about financial independence. They're worrying about the $30 affiliate commission or the $12 affiliate commission. And you see a lot of really talented people. It's amazing. Pitching stuff that makes absolutely no sense. I call it tripping over financial independence to earn a few dollars. And I did a podcast on that as well 3 or 4 years ago. It's an epidemic. It's an epidemic. Systems duplicate. Personality doesn't. That's the other concept people don't get. You must provide unified, duplicatable systems that are workable. The average person with above average desire must be able to access training systems that will create growth and that will create personal and financial progress, not keep them on a hamster wheel. There are hundreds of trainings happening in network marketing around the world in every company every week. Hundreds. Are they teaching systems? No. Are they teaching mindsets? Rarely. Most are really centered around self-proclaimed gurus with big egos who like to hear themselves talk. You know it, I know it. They can't wait to get to the end so everybody say, great job, Marianne, great job, good job, you're my hero. It's ridiculous. A huge social club. Very few talk about systems. Those that do talk about recruiting systems, but very few pay attention to retail customer acquisition systems, time management systems, mindset systems, retention systems. I mean, I've taught all this. I teach all this, have for years, because they work and they're necessary to build a real business. Systems duplicate, personality does not. If you build people, people will build the business. It's not has nothing to do with funnels and hacks and social media dances. I mean, come on. I wrote about this. This has been forever ago. Forever, way before the internet. Why the mass? I wrote this pamphlet. It's available. I think the audio and the booklet are still available, I think, on Amazon. Why the masses of network marketers are frustrated, confused, and don't have a clue what they're doing is because they're working with people with leadership titles who have no leadership ability. They're great entertainers. Some of them are really funny comedians, but they don't know how to teach teams. They're just entertaining, trying to keep people entertained and hanging out so they'll stay on auto ship one more month. Team culture is everything. It's everything. Team culture. I believe, I've taught it for years. Together, the acronym, together, everyone achieves more. And you can look at our team and see that. It's beyond obvious. But team culture is everything. And you can have we are going to have fun and party, team culture. Or you can have I'll blow smoke up your dress and call you a rock star, even though everybody knows you haven't done diddly since you've been here. But I'll stroke your ego if you stroke mine and stay on auto ship. There's all kinds of weird dynamics happening. This is about wealth creation. It's about expanding your comfort zone, becoming all you can be. That's what this is about. I know as a team, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And I also believe, and people cringe when I say this, it's just as important to get rid of the wrong people as it is to keep the right people. You're better off if you don't sponsor them to begin with. Like, I don't know, a couple months ago, I was talking about I'm not even trying to sponsor people anymore. I don't even want to sponsor anybody. And people just call me all kind, you're a liar, blah, blah, blah. No, it's the truth. I don't have time because when I sponsor somebody, it's my responsibility to go to work for them. They aren't working for me. I got to go to work for them. And I'm not going to put my time, energy, and effort into people that don't get it. I'm just not. I'm looking for people that are committed to financial freedom and wealth building. That's who I want on my team. That's who I want to hang out with. I'm tired of thumbsuckers and people that see the glass half empty all the time. That's not what this business is about. It never has been until after 2000. Prior to 2000, it wasn't like that. The truth is, if people want to create a few hundred extra dollars a month, there are better ways. There are better ways. Learn how to sell on eBay, Etsy. There's so many ways to create income. If you need a few hundred extra dollars a month, don't put yourself through network marketing and don't expose other people to it. Do some affiliate deal or something. I mean, the power of network marketing is the lifestyle and the passive income it provides. And if you want a couple hundred extra bucks, go do something else. And then the fifth thing I want to share with you, and that is that financial education must be taught. It must be taught. My goal for everyone is put yourself in a situation where you don't need the check from your network marketing company to live a comfortable lifestyle. Live on your investments. That's the ultimate goal for every single person on my team. That's the ultimate goal. That's what we're all working towards. That's what we talk about because that's when you've really made it. So many people over the years, they got to 10,000 a month and think they have to spend 14,000 because their upline's taking a trip to Dubai and they want to be with the cool kids and go to Dubai. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Some of you know my goal is to develop a team of 10,000 or to have 10,000 plus people from our team at an event in Lexington, Kentucky in Rupp Arena. And when that event happens, I want to have a team of a minimum of 500 six-figure earners and 10 millionaires on our team. And people say, well, Dale, that proportion is kind of off. Why would you only want to have 10 millionaires? Because most people, when they get to $500,000 a month or so in passive income, if they're golfers, they're going to be golfing. If they're boaters, they're going to be boating. If they're going to be doing what they enjoy doing, and they're not going to persist and continue to keep the pedal to the metal until they get to that millionaire status. Most people aren't, and that's fine. Some people will. I think to get to 10,000 people at an event, I'm going to need 100,000 on my team, and 500 six-figure earners will create 10 millionaires because we're not going to put people in a situation where they're just spinning their wheels and they're not progressing and making money every month and moving forward. It's not going to happen with me. I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to stay in that world. I ain't running no social club. So the new era of wealth building is absolutely here. There's multiple opportunities right now. Not multiple, but there's about 3 or 4 that are really worth serious evaluation. The problem is most people wouldn't recognize the difference between them and Melaleuca. Honestly, they wouldn't even know the difference. Most people just don't have the ability to look behind the curtain, look for the red flags, and more importantly, see upside potential. Without vision, people perish. So, last words, attraction marketers. I don't blame people who've been raised in the wrong team building culture. I don't. I don't. I do have a problem when they are presented documented facts and their egos do not allow them to just admit it and pivot. There's so many people that will hear this podcast, see this video. If they just admit it and pivot, every dream they've ever had for this profession and for their team members succeeding could become a reality. I know that. And I also know I've had a lot of big names that have joined us and they get here and their ego just can't handle it. It's like, dang, Dale, I was raised in this religion my whole life, and and when I get into the back end of what you're doing, I mean, you've got everything systemized. You got your own language talking about whirlpools and all this other stuff. I don't even know what you're talking about, but your team does, and I'm not going to be able to function in this. And what I try to communicate to people, look, you don't have to. Because if you will bring them here, bring your team here, I promise you that they're going to make more money than they've ever made in their life if they will plug in and work. If they don't plug in and work, then you guys just stay where you're at. But the structure, the franchise is here, and it works, and it's worked for years, and it will always work because it's based upon wisdom of the ages success principles. And it's based upon not personality but systems. And you can hear all the success stories from our team. So all you have to do, you will get to a better, more comfortable place in time, I promise you, because I've watched this happen for several people. Phil Shuff, to name one, he's on this podcast early in some of the earlier sessions. You will get to a more comfortable place, and every week it's going to make more and more sense because you're going to see people on your team progressing and doing and producing at levels you've never seen before. Why? Because I understand what they need. I get it. I understand the sequential process of building a team. But if you're not able to admit it and pivot, then we don't have a chance. And you will stay doing what you've always done. And as Einstein said, ignorance at its highest level is to continue to do what you've always done, expecting different results. And honestly, guys, this has bothered me a lot. In the last year, I've spent a lot more time on this, just trying to figure it out. Because I have some people that I really care about, friends, that absolutely should be here, and they're wasting time, energy, and effort on with programs that have very little upside potential that they'll never become a millionaire with. They'll never become a millionaire with those programs. And some people, I guess, just like being a big fish in a little pond. I don't know, but I've done some study on this, and I end up writing an article. This article that those of you watching on YouTube, you can see it's actually at MLMsuccess.com in the blog. And the title of the article is Never Underestimate the Difficulty of Changing False Beliefs with Facts. It's very difficult to change a person's false belief with facts. And again, I've studied it and really looked into this because it bothers me. And if what I've said has not made sense, let me just say it's on you. It's not on me because I've shared documented facts. You can choose to believe those facts or not. You can verify everything for yourself. And see if you feel that way right now, honestly, you just need to take a breath and just say, wait a minute. Because see, we don't know what we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. And a lot of times we're blind. We're blind. And that can happen to all of us. It can happen to me. It can happen to you. It can happen to everybody. But I would say stop just for a minute. How long have you been hanging around the network marketing business model? Where are you? Where has your leadership taken you? You've been in 11 programs with them. I had somebody last week. I've been in 11 programs with them, and I haven't done real well, but this is the one. I mean, somebody actually told me that. What are you doing? I'm glad you found the one. What is it? Live good. I only have to pay $9.97 a month for my membership. And I want to cry. I just want to cry. So anyway, because see, people are being damaged to a point that they'll never be able to get fixed. Okay, the wrong cultures can damage people to a point where they can never come out of it. And when you say that, then that means they can never be as productive as possible in the greatest business model that has ever been created for average people with above average desire, because they've been raised in the wrong cultures for so long. Just a couple of excerpts from this article. When you really examine the mindsets these people have, it's like the longer the failure exists, the longer they've had failure, the longer the failure exists, the stronger their belief in a business model that is no longer providing the full-time income opportunities it once did. We're talking about consumable product network marketing companies right here, all of them. And then I gave reference to a psychologist, Leon Fesslinger. He arrived at his theory of cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. When confronted by evidence at odds with strongly held beliefs, instead of abandoning those beliefs, true believers double down by evangelizing those false beliefs. As I've said in numerous articles and podcasts, guys, real leaders pivot, but that's not what most people do. It's like, look, dude, do you really think that I understand you're making money every month because you're selling an affiliate blog program? I get that. I get that. Okay. But do you really think that that's the answer for people, that they go online and they write a blog article every day, and at the end of 1 year they will have more success than they can keep up with because a blog helps them position themselves as an expert? Why not teach them how to become an expert? And see, when people are confronted with this type of information, I don't know why they don't abandon that false philosophy. Well, I do know it's because they're making money selling foo-foo dust to newbies that don't know any better. But abandoning those beliefs, and real leaders pivot. When people are committed to a belief in a course of action, clear disconfirming evidence may simply result in a deeper conviction and polarization. If more and more people can be persuaded that the system of belief is correct, if this system of belief is correct, all these people say attraction marketing is it. All of them do. Why? Because they sell each other's courses. Because it's easier to tell people what they want to hear and instead of what they need to hear. The easiest thing in the world is to tell people what they want to hear so you can sell them what they want to sell them. That's why all people talk about the foo-foo dust all the time. And it's been going on for years and years and years. So that's why so many people have the same belief system. But if so many people, these gurus, have the same belief system, and that is correct, then clearly it must all be correct. It must all be correct. And I swear, for years, I did a podcast on this several years ago. It might have been a training. I feel like it's the emperor's new clothes. Wherever, it's like I look at all this and I think the dude's naked. Hey guys, the dude's naked. And no, we're in a parade with him. He's not naked. Only old school people think he's naked. We're enlightened. We're new school network marketing. We're doing social media. Blah, 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 blah. We're new school. No, he's not naked. And I don't know if the Emperor's New Clothes I read it at my grandmother's. My grandmother's had that book, so I read it when I was a small child. And I don't know if it's a common book or not. I really don't know if it is. And so I'm not going to take the time to tell the story, but you can look it up if you want to. But it's like, just because 1,000 people say a stupid thing doesn't mean it's not a stupid thing. 10 years ago or so, I wrote this book. It's on Amazon, How to Get Rich Without a College Education. I had parents calling me, cussing me because their teenagers decided they don't want to go to college because of my book. And see, people told me, Dale, don't write that. You're going to get people going to get upset. Just like this presentation. Don't you say this stuff. People get upset. Look, My only commitment is to people that I care about that I don't want to see waste their time. College is not for everybody. It's just not. It's simply not. And I knew that. And I wrote about it. And there's other ways to create income and to become successful without college. And just because your parents want to tell everybody Sally Ann's going to Duke so they can brag on when they go out to their social clubs does not mean it's a good idea for Sally Ann necessarily to go to college. And again, now that's kind of becoming mainstream. It's not there yet, but it's on its way because people are realizing how with college debt and college loans is putting so many kids behind the eight ball before they even start out in life. It's horrific. So again, I've always spoke what I see. And I talked about, I think that the double CD set's still available on Amazon. It's called The Success Principle The Internet Is Stolen. And what I talked about was the internet got people away from closed cultures and mentors, real mentors. And they started listening to all these different people looking for the foo-foo dust. And then when you have all these people saying attraction marketing is the answer, attraction marketing is the answer, well, so many people are saying it, therefore it must be true. No, it's the emperor's new clothes syndrome, people. And then you got a lot of people that just get so frustrated, aggravated. The world's against me. Everybody's against me. And society and mainstream media is trying to convince everybody that we have no say so. We have no control over our future. The government's going to mess you over. Your boss is going to mess you over. Somebody's going to mess you over. And you might as well just sit back. I saw an article this week. I couldn't believe it. Millennials, I think millennials are like 27 to 42. I want to say I'm trying to do this by memory. I can't remember. But adults, okay? We're not talking about juveniles here. The average millennial, 27 to 42, spends 22 hours a week playing video games. Yet they want to talk about they don't have enough time to do anything different, and they're falling behind more and more, and they need to get out of credit card debt and all this other thing instead of looking themselves in the mirror and saying, you know what, I'm going to make something happen. I got to make something happen. I'm going to. Unbelievable. So over the next few years, I promise you the success stories that come from our team will be legendary. Legendary. When I retired from building teams at age 39 and started becoming self-educated on numerous businesses, different business models, my plan was to write a book called Six-Figure Incomes. I felt like I could create six-figure incomes in the same year with different business models. And a lot of we Dawn, I support her, but number one of the largest Hallmark resellers in the United States. We buy out Hallmark stores when they're going out of business. We go in and liquidate them. We buy out collectors. Huge, huge. She loves it. She's a Christmas nerd. But we have multiple businesses going on, and that was my thought. I'm going to write a book called Six-Figure Incomes. People think one six-figure income so hard. It's not, but if you follow the right processes. Today's April 16th, 2023. At this time, this is going to be the first time I'm sharing this publicly. And I just want it on record. I just want to know that I said it. And I'm real early in this game. Real early. But I've created many personal breakthrough paradigms over the past few months. And it's like, if you can do it, Dale, it doesn't matter if it's not normal or it's not customary or people think you're an idiot. It doesn't matter if it's not accepted. That's never bothered you before. But this is kind of really getting out there. And again, I'm just not ever going to allow myself to have those feelings ever again. I'm going to do what I feel like I need to do and what I can do. And because I owe it to the person staring me back in the mirror to maximize my full upside potential. But when the systems are in place for a franchise, which we have a very franchise approach to building network marketing teams, developing people, to developing the next wave of leadership on our team. When those systems are in place, how many franchises could you have? I mean, if you have the leadership to run them, and that's the big issue, having the right leaders in place. But I've got a lot of homegrown leaders that are coming through and getting stronger all the time. And I mean, it's looking really good. A lot of really good people that can run these things. They know more about this stuff than I do, a lot of them. I've forgotten so much. They don't forget as much as I do. And plus, our systems haven't changed dramatically over the years. Obviously technology is giving us new ways to generate leads, but beyond that, the personal development systems are the personal development systems. So what I do is I'm planning on building multiple new era teams, not network marketing teams, new era teams. And there's a difference. The only challenge, again, is finding opportunities, honestly, that are worthy of applying our team building and mindset systems and philosophies to, and then those with leadership potential who will just plug in and learn the systems and teach them, because you're dealing with egos all the time. And you can say, well, what do you think you're going to build multiple new era teams and multiple programs? Absolutely. No question. So you can call it arrogant, you can call it naive, call it whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, my jealous enemies will remain stuck in their cognitive dissonance, and my team members don't need an explanation because they've experienced what I've been talking about on this session. They know it's true because they've experienced it. And the rest of you can just kind of watch as we apply old school wisdom of the ages, personal development, and team building systems to new era opportunities. Watch what happens. Applying old school, you can call it old school all you want. I call it wisdom, but you can call it, when you apply old school wisdom of the ages, personal development, and team building systems to new era opportunities, the amount of incomes that will be created is going to make the cover of Success magazine in 1995, We Create Millionaires, alive again. And sure, I hope some of you that watch this or listen to the podcast, I hope some of you will decide to come along for the ride. I do. Contact me. I'm not pitching anything. There's no website to sign up. There's nothing you can do. You can find me on social media. But I hope some of you come along for the ride. But only if you can leave your ego at the door and become a true team player and do your best to forget the crap that you've been taught over the past 20 years and say, you know what, I'm ready for a fresh start. If you're ready for a fresh start, this is the place. We're the team. We've got the people. And I promise you what I promise everybody, give us 1 year of your life. And I promise you, your life's going to change for the better in ways that you can't even describe, can't even begin to understand. And you can ask Carlos or Alan or Kamla or Tom T or Alabama Dave or Steady Dave or Cincinnati Dave or Shelly, Zane, Gordy, and Kelly, or any of the others whose stories you've heard over the past year on this podcast, and hundreds of more of our team members whose stories you haven't even heard yet. I appreciate you letting me get this out. And again, I would love to hear from you. You can leave me a comment on social media, on Facebook, YouTube. It doesn't matter. YouTube's probably the best place. And I'd like to hear from all of you, even the crows. Even the crows. What's a crow, Dale? One of our team members doing a phenomenal job. She'll probably be one of our millionaires this year. You've heard her session, her podcast, Shelly Giddings. She posted this on our Facebook this morning. I just thought it was cool. I pulled it off, and I'm going to end with this. It says, the only bird that dares to peck an eagle is the crow. The crow sits on the eagle's back and bites at its neck. The eagle does not respond, nor fights with the crows. He doesn't spend time or energy on the crow. Instead, he just opens up his wings and begins to rise higher and higher and higher into the heavens. The higher the flight, the harder it is for the crow to breathe, and eventually the crow falls off due to lack of oxygen. Learn from the eagle and don't fight the crows. Just keep ascending. They might be along for the ride, but they'll soon fall off. Don't allow yourself to succumb to the distractions. Keep your focus on the things above and continue rising. That's the lesson of the eagle and the crow. And I want to share this because I really want people to understand where I'm coming from with this session. I'm not worried about the friggin' crows. I'm not. I know who they are. They know who they are. You know who they are. What has bothered me and what will always bother me, and it will never not bother me, is the amount of phenomenal people that could have done awesome things, changed their life, who got involved with the wrong team cultures. And from time to time, I just need to warn people of that. I look back at the 20-year-old Dale Snot-Nosed Kid. If I had come into network marketing in the last 20 years, I know, because I had no upline. I had zero upline. Like I said, my sponsor quit 2 weeks after I joined. I had no upline. I didn't even know who my upline was. By the time I met one person in my upline, I was already making more money than they were. I had a bigger team than they had. So I've never had an upline. And I do this because I don't want to ever forget, because of the promise I made to myself, never forget. And I think after seeing what happened for Carlos yesterday, it just inspired me. Hey, Dale, this is what you need to share this week. So I appreciate your attention. I hope you got value from it. As always, you can leave comments. Uh, as always, you can leave comments, and I will always respond. Thank you for listening, guys. I hope that this is giving you that paradigm shift. And if we need to talk, I'll be happy to speak with you. Have an awesome day, night, wherever you are in the world. This is Dale Calvert. We'll talk to you next week on another session of the New Era of Wealth Building podcast.